Again, this is Steve Watter, I think it is, W-A-T-R. I'm sure that's just abbreviations of his last name. Could be Water, I don't know. But anyways, like I said, Steve, very detailed in his repair attempt, which he actually does fix. So I'm going to edit all this, and this will be coming up very soon. He's got over 555 different videos, and like I said, he's very detailed. So you definitely need to know the detail when it comes to repairing, you know, this this TV, and it can be done, but you do have to know how to solder. So if you don't, you know, get yourself a nice soldering iron, get some silver solder, and practice. Okay, so this is the old board that my brother and I worked on. And you can see they pack it really, really well. And it looks like everything's pretty good. And ooh, what's that? Oh yeah, that's not a good sign there. And it gets even better. So we had to replace this whole board because of that bad burn. You guys can see that right there. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. And I got the board. I'm trying to remember for how much. I think I got it for like $35, and these boards are normally like $150. So definitely shop around. They tell you everything about it. Like there's the SDRU, and then if you look, U meaning up, so you understand that up. If it was the other board, it would say SDRD for down, and there you go. Everything else is pretty. Yeah, you don't want to solder this stuff. Just buy a board, man. It's a lot cheaper. Alright, we've removed the PSU board. As you can see, we're going to be doing the soldering pretty soon. We've already replaced the upper, and the thing that you have to be careful with again are these ribbons. So we're going to make sure that before we hang the TV back up on the wall up there, we're going to make sure that the SDR ribbons are plugged into the board correctly. And this is the lower board. And I'm kind of doing this in sections. There's a guy online named Steve Watter, I think it is, W-E-T-R, and he was pretty thorough in what he did. We're going to heat these two up here and pull those capacitors. Here's the capacitors I've already got, and I got these online. Again, it's the 3300 microfarad with the 100 volt. And these are a little different. They actually don't have the long stems. They already have the like the small little stems already cut. And this is your negative end. That's the one with the stripe. So you just have to make sure when you put it on the board, you put it where it needs to be, so you don't reverse polarity. And that's that. So we're doing this in sections. Got the soldering iron on. I ordered this soldering iron online, and it did not produce. It wouldn't even melt any of the soldered joints that were already on here. So I just got back from Radio Shack. We got the 60 watt, and the 60 watt is probably going to be more than enough. And this is probably the best solder sucker that we have. We also got this online. Actually got all three items. I got another solder sucker. It's electric, but this one works better. It has a better suction pump, and I got these online, all three of them, for $10. So I'm not really mad about the soldering iron not working. I was a little frustrated because it's been a little too long. We've been working on this board trying to get it ready, so we will have it up and running soon. Late. This is the soldering iron you want to go with. Like I said, I had a different soldering iron I got online and it was terrible, but this is the one you want. It is a Radio Shack brand, very inexpensive, and this totally did the job. So I was very happy with this product, and would definitely tell you to get yourself a 60-watt soldering iron. Just popped it out. See the top on it. You guys can see that the top on it is raised. This is not as bad as the other one, but since we're in here, we're going to replace them both. And it's basically the same thing that I ordered. I mean, it has, you know, identical, same number, everything. You can see that. But the solder sucker, I mean, it just sucked it right out. Look at that. Boom. Cleaned those holes perfect. And when it runs fast. So, yeah, if you want to grab that other end, I could have done it a lot faster. And I'm going to shut this off. Okay, this is part 2, and again, this is for editing reasons. I think he's got like 4 parts to this, and like I said, it's very detailed, so I would definitely suggest that if you guys are going to do any repair on your big screen, that you listen to this guy, because he knows what he's doing, and he definitely helped me fix mine.
Alright, I've got all the screws out of the back here, and I'm getting ready to remove the panel, and now's a good time to talk about safety. I would recommend that if you do not have any experience working on electronics, that you do not attempt to repair your flat panel TV or any other electronic device that plugs in. TV sets and other electronics can actually store a charge even when they're unplugged from the wall in devices called capacitors that can pose a possible shock hazard. And the other thing about this repair, or the replacement of those capacitors, is going to involve desoldering and soldering the new ones in. If you do not have good soldering skills, again, I would not recommend attempting this repair. Now, when I got out of the TV repair business about 15 years ago, the 27-inch CRT-based TV, the cabinet was pretty empty. There was one main board, and that board was probably about the size of this power supply board in the middle here, and it basically had everything right down to the tuner, the high voltage transformer, everything all self-contained on one board. The large scale integration had progressed to such a point that they were able to fit the entire electronics needed to run the whole TV on one board. Now we come to a more modern plasma display here, and this thing's loaded with electronics, and it just goes to show you how sophisticated a system it must be in order for this thing to actually work.
Okay, again, he's going to get into detail, but if you look right here at this capacitor, he's going to replace this one. He's got a mark on it already, which I did as well. If you look at these two, he's already replaced them. They're brand new. As well, he has not replaced this one. This one's also popped. So his TV's a little older than ours. I think ours is about, well, his is, at the time when he did this video, was 5. Ours was about 3, pretty close to the same type of technology. And again, I'm breaking this down for editing purposes for everyone. Been replaced. We replaced this the CDR-U for up board. The main problem we were having was putting these ribbons back in, and we found out that it's easiest to have one person pull on one side while the other one pulls on the other, and you'll get those lines to line up, and everything works out. So we're done. We're gonna get it back up on the wall and look at some TV. Main problem we were having was putting these ribbons back in, and we found out that it's easiest to have one person pull on one side while the other one pulls on the other, and you'll get those lines to line. So Rockman, doing the repair, how intimidated were you by the electronics? But then once I explained everything, how simple was it really actually?
Nobody on the planet had faith or could believe that any human could fix or repair this TV. It was a task beyond mere mortals. And I personally thought that the slickster, the Cobra Meister, was way over his head with this.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was amazed. It was incredible. It was like the first man landing on the moon.
That was it.
Yeah.
So this guy actually rocked it.
That guy.
I don't know if this guy would have done it. He needed more time. So anyways, it wasn't really that intimidating, but it would have been tougher without your help by getting that sucker to pull that solder out.
Well, when you unbolt the screws of a TV, a 50-some inch one, and you've got tools all over the place, and you're unbolting and soldering things, I mean, it was a fantastic voyage. We did not believe. I did not have the faith, but Slick had the faith. And I have to say, when we hooked it all up, and then there were lines all over the place.
The ribbons.
Yes, again, pure genius. Absolute genius.
Pull one side. I pulled the other, yeah.
Yes, it was like an hour of adjusting things.
Yeah, it took a long time.
It was a very shaky moment for a second, but you know, it was an amazing thing. I mean, I was astounded, baffled.
Yes. That if I can do it, you can do it.
Years from now, scientists, they'll be studying and like with early cavemen, how they and then this will stand out. Like, well, wait a second, they had modern tools. They were able to create fire and spaceships at the same time. Incredible.
And soldering irons.
And soldering irons. Yeah, although the first soldering iron did not work as well as our techniques.
Yeah, I was really not happy with that one.
So always be sure, don't skimp on the soldering iron.
Woo! Here we go.
Even more important now, this offensive line.
He's working.
Complete hole like some of the other running backs have. I mean, he's a big guy.
The main problem was that ribbon. Putting those ribbons back in, it was just like, oh my gosh. We must have spent like 40 minutes back and forth, and then figured out we had to pull it down. One had to pull down the top, one had to pull down the bottom, and lock it. And we got those lines out. So there it is. That saves us about $600, $700, $800 for about about an hour, 2 hours of work.
A promising look plus